Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a new way to play classic Yu-Gi-Oh! You take GOAT format, which is the most popular retro format among the Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, and then you add in a couple new cards, you ban a couple cards, and in the end result, you have this completely new game that's easy to understand and pretty fun to play. For folks who don't know what GOAT format is, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! As it was in April 2005, up to, I think, September 2005. It includes sets up to and including Cybernetic Revolution, even though Cybernetic Revolution was only legal at the tail end of the format. The basic concept of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is to take Yu-Gi-Oh! What it used to be and diversify it a little bit to make it a little bit more fun and interesting. Because the game that I base it off of, GOAT format, is 10 years old. It's solved, it's stale, everyone runs the same thing. The only option is chaos. Nowadays, we have all these bunch of these cards that are in the card pool that you can reintroduce into GOAT format and make it more interesting. Now, the thing about modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like nowadays we got everybody here today playing Nekros because it's like the only deck that you can really play. And that's a result of power creep. But if you can go back in time and you just say, hey, you know, we're gonna pluck in some cards out. You can introduce, for example, Mizuki without Zombie Master, right? And Zombie Master, Mizuki, and you know that would make it broken. The basic concept of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is to have a bunch of good decks, but nothing broken. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! That isn't broken, and some people prefer that, and it's just a matter of giving the people that choice. I first thought about Yu-Gi-Oh! When my 11-year-old brother-in-law asked me about my time playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I told him about it, and he was really interested in it, and I wanted to teach him how to play. So I picked up a deck of cards from a friend of mine, and I showed him some of the cards. And I said, here, you know, just read them. Start by reading them. And he had a hard time with that. He didn't know what words like summon and negate were. You don't use those in your everyday vernacular. So I explained what those are, and he gets that. But then when you get to some of the more intricate combos, and I'm not even talking about, we don't have to look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. You can even go back a couple years in sectors. I'm like, well, hey, you know, do this, and then now that's 8,000 on the board. He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But then, so I was like, all right, let me try this. Let me show you an Air Knight. Do you get what this does? He's like, yeah, when it attacks a monster, you draw a card. And I was like, yes, you understand. And so I was like, all right, man, well, for me, I look at that and I'm saying, he understands this classic Yu-Gi-Oh! And I wanted to make something for him. So I said, okay, we can start with GOAT format, and we can teach your friends GOAT format. And that's where we started. And then they told me, it's boring. It's the same thing all the time. And I was like, you know what? You're right. And there's no reason we can't make it more interesting. So I spent about a month. I had a team of about 30 people. We tested an initial list and then modified it over the course of that month until we settled on this list that we have now, which makes a number of decks good, but nothing broken, so that you have the opportunity to play Yu-Gi-Oh! As you want to play it. The first thing to realize about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that it's got something for everybody. It's got something for new players, because it's easy to get into, the cards are cheap, it's easy to understand. It's got something for old players, because you got cards they know and understand already. It's for adults who want to be competitive and kids who are just starting out. But that said, it's not going to be for everybody. The general player base, as far as I expect, they might be into it. I hope they will. And for a lot of them, I know they will. But I don't expect everybody to be on board. And I don't want everybody to be on board. It's just another option. If you want to get involved with Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's real simple. You go to newgioh.com, newgioh.com. You'll see links to our Facebook page. From there, you can get to our Facebook group. There's a collection of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. It's facebook.com/groups/Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. And that's the easiest way to get connected with Yu-Gi-Oh! The website has a list of cards that shows what's the current forbidden and limited list. It tells you what sets are legal, and there's a really helpful link to Yu-Gi-Oh! Explained, which gives you information about rulings as they were at the time. You know, in Yu-Gi-Oh! You draw 6 cards to start instead of 5, and it gives you also sample lists. So if you don't know where to start, newgioh.com is the place to start, because you can see right there, oh, that's how I build my Chaos deck, or oh, hey, that's how I build my Monarch deck, or hey, that's how I build my Spellcaster deck. And it makes it really simple for everybody. Newgeo.com.